Hello everybody, it's Julia here from the Highly Sensitive Tarot. I'm here today with my monthly sort of catch up and waffle and what have I been up to type video. I'm a bit late this month. I try to do these in the sort of middle of the month, so this one is for the end of July and the sort of beginning and middle of August really. And I've been delayed, and I almost even wasn't going to do this video this month because I haven't got that much to tell you really in terms of tarot anyway, because well, I've just found it really hard to focus, and yeah, I've just found it really hard to focus this last month because I was going to move. I'm currently sat here in my lounge, which is, apart from a few ornaments that are left and a few books that are left, it's mostly packed up. I would say my little bungalow at the moment is probably 2/3 to 3/4 packed. There's stuff in my kitchen, but everywhere else I'm kind of packed up. But my house move got delayed, and it could happen any time in the next couple of weeks to the next couple of months. I just don't know. So I'm feeling quite unsettled in myself, I suppose. And yeah, it's just been really hard to focus on any kind of real study work with my tarot. So I haven't really got that much to tell you. I haven't been able to read the last month. I think my last video I'd showed you the trilogy of books, the half bad books that I was reading. I've got no further with them. I did sell, how many did I sell? I think 5 decks of oracle cards last month that I'd been meaning to rehome for a while, and I did sell those, and I bought myself, after they sold, I bought myself a new wooden candlestick, and I bought this beautiful tablecloth here, which you can't see all of, but it's basically a big white tablecloth with a circle in the middle of it that you can see the top of here. That is the wheel of the year, is the pagan calendar, and I've managed to sort of put it down today to show that, you know, we're coming up to Mabon, aren't we? We're coming up to the autumn equinox, and my birthday, the 22nd of September. So yeah, I bought this with some of the money that I got from selling my oracle cards, and I also bought some witches' bells to put on my front door, and they're packed already, so that's great. My tarot cards are packed away in 2 great big crates, and I've put them in crates so that I can still get at them, because if they were in boxes they would be sealed up and I'd be incredibly frustrated. So they're in crates, big plastic crates, and I can still get at them. It's just not the same as having them all behind me in their usual spot, where I can just sort of turn around and reach for any deck that I want. So as you can imagine, I'm sure you've all been there before, where you're living kind of in limbo because you're packed and you're almost ready to go, but you can't move just yet. And it's not very nice. It's quite frustrating, and it's hard. It's hard to be creative or to focus on anything much. It's also actually been summer here finally in the UK, and because I think when I last did this video it had just been raining and windy and chilly, and you know, the middle of July was not very nice at all. But here we are at the end of August, and I suppose the last couple of weeks the weather's been beautiful actually. It's been some days quite hot, some days just nice and warm. We've had a few showers, and it's made me sort of want to be outside and in the garden. And I've had a lot to do in the garden as well. I've been sort of emptying out pots, and I had a big plastic storage box in my garden that I was storing lots of bits and pieces in, and that was padlocked. And I lost the keys to the padlock. So I've had to have my friend come and sort of saw open, I don't know what he used, some angle grinder or something, come and open up the padlock so that I could get at what was in my box. So, as I said, you all know what I mean. I'm sure you've been there before. Moving house is just one of the most hideous things that there is, really. And like I said, I don't even really know when I'm going. You know, it could be like the end of next week, the week after. It could be a couple of months away, but I don't think it's going to be much longer than that. So there we go. That's my little waffle out of the way. So what I have actually been doing, I will show you, because I've got a few decks of cards here that I have been looking at, but I haven't been doing sort of serious deck studies, which is something that I usually like to try and do. I've just been sort of faffing about, and I've been doing a lot of different readings for myself because I think I felt unsettled. I suppose I've been looking for reassurance, and that's not always a good thing, is it, with tarot cards? You know, if you keep asking the same questions, you know, you end up confusing yourself. So it's been a funny month. It's been a funny time. Something I have been doing, which I would highly recommend to any of you that have, you know, like an inner monologue, or you have like anxious thoughts, or you get preoccupied with your thought processes and find it hard to switch off. I've been colouring, and this is one of my new books, A Rambly. It's called A Stress Relieving Art Therapy Colouring Book, and I'll show you some of the pages from it. It is just, as you can see, there's mandalas. I haven't coloured every page, and some of them I've finished and some of them I haven't finished. Some of them are done in crayon, some are done in colouring pencil, some are done with gel pens. This one here, this terrible one here, this one, I started colouring that in bed, thinking that I just had a variety of greens and blues to use to colour it. And when I got up the next day and looked at it in the daylight, I realised I'd been using like fluorescent colours on some of them. So it does not look good. And that was a bit of a lesson to actually choose my colours before it gets dark. So as you can see, there's all sorts of patterns in here. Look at this beautiful one that I coloured in last week. This was all done with metallic gel pens. I don't know if you can see that they're metallic. That'd be pretty cool as wallpaper, that, I think, wouldn't it? I started that one and didn't enjoy it, and then yesterday I coloured this one in with like Crayola crayons. I really enjoy it. It's really therapeutic and soothing for my mind when it's unsettled and prone to procrastination. So yeah, I think earlier in the month I showed you this deck, didn't I? I showed you the Surrealist Tarot, and I've got a video I did of a sort of a month study with this. This is the last deck that I looked at in any kind of real depth, and to be honest, it was a failure for me, really, as a deck study. I still like it. I shall keep it. It's a fantastic little deck, but I couldn't make head nor tail of it, really, to be honest, in terms of reading with it anyway. The artwork is fantastic. I kind of understand some of the surrealism. I understand a little bit about some of the artists because I've read quite a lot about various sort of art movements, I suppose, over the years. But isn't that card so very different from all the rest? It's weird that. Yeah, this one's like a haunted house card, isn't it? I just haven't been able to make any sense of it in readings. I think I could use this possibly as an oracle card, as a study, as an oracle card. I think if I had any mad dreams, this would be a good deck to look at that might help me make sense of my dreams, perhaps. I don't know. But other than that, I should imagine it will just sit as part of my collection as being one of those sort of arty type decks that I do enjoy. It's a shame, really. It would have been nice to be able to read with it. I've also been using my little centennial edition of the Smith-Waite Tarot. It's a really, if you haven't, I'm sure you've seen it, but if you haven't, it's this little edition here. Such a cute little deck. You get a couple of extra cards with it. Yeah, you can see I have used this a fair bit. It's been well shuffled. It's a really nice little little Rider-Waite-Smith type deck. I really do like that. So I have been using that a fair bit. And I've been using this deck a lot. The Oak, Ash and Thorn. It's just beautiful. I don't know if any of you have seen, but a few days ago I did post a Celtic cross that I had done with this deck. They're all going to be upside down now, aren't they? Oh, and you know, I just still absolutely love the feel of this deck. It is the cards. Oh, they're just, I love the whiteness of them. They're like crisp. They really do appeal to me, and considering I don't have many animal decks, this deck reads really well. It's really earthy and grounded, and as I said, I did a Celtic cross with it, and it read beautifully. It made sense. It is such a lovely deck. It really is. It's so very gentle. I can't recommend this deck highly enough, to be honest. It's lovely. So yeah, I have been playing with that deck, I guess. I've been asking it different questions, and as I said, I did a Celtic cross, and the Celtic cross that I did was around the time when I thought I was going to move. Is when I'd had some good news and I thought the move was happening, and I think the Celtic cross I did actually was quite accurate, because it really was encouraging me to go with the flow and to not try and rush things, and that is clearly what I need to do. So, and then I've got two other decks here, and I've just in the last day or two uploaded a first impressions of both of these decks, and these decks both came from makeplayingcards.com, and neither of them came with any kind of decent box. This one, the first one here, came in just a little white tuck box, and it is the Art Occultist deck, and I was looking for a tin, because I've decided I am a sucker for tins. I like a tarot deck to be in a tin. Unfortunately, I couldn't find one that sort of fitted perfectly. It fits the length, but not quite the width. But isn't it a beautiful little tin? It's by Sarah Miller of London. And the reason why I chose it is because look at the backs of these cards. Doesn't it go well? I was right chuffed to have found a deck with the same sort of colour palette. I mean, it's obviously not the same flowers and everything, but it's the same sort of colour palette, isn't it, really? So I have got this beautiful, beautiful tin for this beautiful, beautiful deck. This is mostly sort of pre-Raphaelite type art. It's just full of very romantic and dreamy, sort of wistful looking females and romantic and very studious looking men. I've got a massive, great big glass framed print of this one, Flaming June, in my bedroom. It's been one of my all-time favourite pre-Raphaelite images. As you can see, these cards are so slidey. It's hard to keep them in a pile, to be honest. But and this deck, considering it's full of quite sort of romantic images, it actually reads really, really well. It reads really clearly, or at least it does for me. I plan to use this deck actually in a day or two to record a monthly energy check-in for the month of September for the collective. So we'll see how it reads for that. I love the blackness in the background of some of these cards. There's such depth to these paintings. And I think what I wanted to show you as well is that I had bought a while ago the pre-Raphaelite tarot deck from this Low Scarabo, isn't it? This one. And I bought it. I hadn't seen anybody review it, but I bought it, I think, based on this picture on the back, because this is obviously, I think that might be Waterhouse. I may be wrong there, but, you know, that's a really famous bit of pre-Raphaelite art, isn't it, which is in this deck here also. But I bought it because I thought the card images were going to be similar to this, but they're not. They're more like this. And I just think if you like art decks, why on earth would you buy this Low Scarabo one when you could have such a beautiful deck as this one, using, you know, the original authentic paintings? I don't really quite understand. I'm afraid I don't have these in order, so I can't show you to compare, but I don't really understand why all of these beautiful sort of pre-Raphaelite images have had to have been collaged and made sort of cartoon-like. You know, we see this woman here with the red hair and the green dress. We see her in lots of pre-Raphaelite images. You know, I can see that these come from pre-Raphaelite paintings, but they've all kind of been mishmashed and collaged together, and they're sort of, as I said, they're sort of cartoon-like, aren't they, really? They're not real. They don't jump out of the cards, they don't grab you in nearly the same way as this deck here. And I don't know whether that's just me being, well, I don't know, is it me being naive about copyright for paintings? But then, as I said, how would we have got to, you know, look at the difference? I know they're two different cards. You've got the Queen of Cups there and the Page of Coins, but I know which piece of artwork I would rather be looking at, something that looks more realistic or something that is cartoonish. You know, the colours are too bright, aren't they? I think that's possibly what it is. But yeah, these are both pre-Raphaelite inspired decks, and I would have the Art Occultist tarot deck any day. I think she said Elisa or Eliza, I'm not sure how you pronounce her name, it might be Elisa. I think she said that this deck was inspired by Aphrodite, so it's not truly a pre-Raphaelite deck, but many of the paintings in here are very definitely pre-Raphaelite paintings. So as you can see, I think you know, there's just such a world of difference between these decks, isn't there, and the quality of them, and the sort of authenticness of the images, I suppose. So yeah, I don't know. I do love my art tarot decks, but I am wondering whether this Low Scarabo one will end up being rehomed, because I'm struggling to warm to it, really. If the images were like this rather than like this, it would be okay, but yeah. So there we go. That's I think I've shown you many of the cards in here. It's a really cool deck. I absolutely love it, and I'm looking forward to doing a collective reading with it in a couple of days. Actually, let's put it back in its tuck box. And aren't the backs beautiful? I think I did so well with the tin. You just, well, I'm sure actually you can imagine. Oh, sorry, I've just jogged the camera. I'm sure you can imagine my sense of satisfaction at that. I'm not a fan of bags for tarot decks. There are a lot of fabrics I don't like the feel of. I don't know what it is. It may be my autism, I'm not really sure, but some fabrics can make me cringe. I can't touch them, and I can find fabrics dusty, and I'm just not a big fan. So if I can't keep a deck in its box, it normally sits on my shelf as it is, or it will go in a tin if I can find a tin that I like. And the other little tin that I found, and this goes so well, this is a Joe Stockdale tin, and this goes so very well with the deck that I found, the deck that I bought to put in it, and it is the Mouse Boat Tarot. And look, doesn't it fit perfectly? This came just shrink wrapped really from makeplayingcards.com this month. I have not read with it as yet. I've had it out a few times and oohed and ahed at all the hamsters and the hedgehogs and the blue tits and the rats and the mice and the kingfisher and the frogs and the fairies. Look at that, look. Blackbirds drawing a chariot with bees. The strength card, a mouse and a kitten. There's a squirrel. There's a, I don't know what that is. It might be a little wren. Look at the hermit. The wheel. The justice card. The hanged man. So as I said, I have not read with this deck yet. And I don't really know how it will read, to be honest, because it is a very strange little deck. It is the cutest little thing, but and at the end of this, because I think there's 90 cards in this deck, and at the end we've got a card for all of the astrology signs, which is really cool. So yeah, I just wanted to show you really the cute little tin that I bought for it. Which again, I'm sure you can appreciate. These things are important, aren't they? So yeah, I think that is kind of it really. I don't think that I've got a lot else to say really. I don't know what I'm gonna focus on or look at through the rest of August into September. I haven't got any new decks currently. The decks that I've just shown you are my newest decks. I don't have any. I've got some on pre-order. I've got Tarot of a Moon Garden, the borderless deck, which is coming out in October or November. I think I've got what else? I've got the For Haxa, is that how you say it? For Haxa tarot deck, which is also coming out in October, November in the UK. I've got actually, let me have a look, because I screenshotted a page of my pre-orders, which is embarrassing and a bit sad. I realise that, but I don't care. Let's have a look. Where are my decks? Yeah, I've got it says here the For Haxa is coming the 17th of October, apparently. The Tarot of a Moon Garden, the delivery date's pending. I've also pre-ordered Circe Tarot. Is that how you pronounce it? Circe. I think it's kind of Greek hero type base deck. I really like the look of that, so I only pre-ordered that a few days ago. And I've got a tarot card sticker book on pre-order as well, which I hope will help me with my journaling, get me back into journaling, because I haven't even really journaled. There's been no card a day. I've not managed to sort of keep to any regular habits. I've been a bit all over the place. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's my birthday right at the end of September, the 22nd of September, and I expect that I will get some decks for my birthday. I'll be very, very disappointed if I don't. So yeah, I expect there'll be some new decks coming up. As I said, I've got some on pre-order, but I really don't know what I'm going to work with or what I'm going to do. If it turns out that I move in the next couple of weeks, I doubt I'll do anything much, but we'll really have to see. So you may see content from me, you may not over the next few days. I was just looking at my little stones. Look, aren't these nice? My mum brought me these a while ago. I'm not really sure where she found them. I think it might have been Cromer Beach. There's a little hagstone here, and this one is so beautiful. It's sparkly. Got all little sparkles in it. A little stone with a heart on. Aren't they nice? So yeah, I don't honestly know what I'm going to do. I don't know how much of me you'll see or not. But whatever I feel inspired to do, I shall show you. I hope that everybody's well. I hope everybody's enjoying the summer. And if you've got kids at home, enjoying the sort of respite from the pace of life with school and everything. Although I'm sure you're probably keen to get them back to school now. I remember that when my son was young. It was always nice to start the summer holidays because you could stop the relentlessness of the school routine. But then when they'd been off school for a while, all you wanted was for them to go back. So but anyway, I hope that you're all enjoying your holiday. I hope you're all enjoying the sun and the summer. And I shall see you all again soon, I'm sure. So do say hello and take care. and I'll see you later.